The crisp October air carried the scent of fallen leaves and damp earth as I, Elise Carter, stepped into the grand foyer of my family's sprawling Victorian home in Asheville, North Carolina. It was a cool afternoon on October 10th, 2025, just a week after my 20th birthday, and the house buzzed with the quiet hum of anticipation. In my hands, I clutched a polished violin case, inside which rested a composition I'd poured my soul into, a piece written for my acceptance into Juilliard, a dream I'd nurtured since I was 10, practicing scales by candlelight in our attic. The acceptance letter, framed with a partial scholarship, sat on my desk upstairs, a testament to years of discipline and sacrifice. I'd always believed my parents, Linda and Robert Carter, loved me and my older sister, Tessa, equally. I was the diligent one, straight A's, first-chair violinist, never a whisper of trouble, while Tessa was the free spirit, with her infectious laugh, bold ideas, and a trail of half-finished projects. I thought our family was a rock-solid unit, a harmony of support, until the day my world unraveled. The Victorian home, with its creaking oak floors and stained glass windows, had been my sanctuary growing up. My grandfather, a retired orchestra conductor, had instilled in me a love for music, teaching me to feel the rhythm in every note. My grandmother, a seamstress, had sewn me a tiny violin costume for my first recital, her hands trembling with pride. They'd set up a college fund for me at birth, a nest egg my parents often mentioned with reassuring smiles. "It's all yours, Elise," Linda would say, brushing my hair, "for your big future." So when I sat them down in the living room that October afternoon, my acceptance letter in hand, my heart swelled with pride. I imagined their joy, perhaps a family toast to celebrate. Instead, Linda looked away, her fingers twisting a napkin, while Robert cleared his throat with a heavy theatrical sigh. "Elise, sweetheart," he began, his voice laced with false regret, "the college fund is gone. We lost it all in a market crash a few years back. We didn't want to burden you during exams, so we kept it quiet." I stared, the room tilting as Linda nodded with that rehearsed sympathy, her eyes glistening with crocodile tears. "We'll figure something out," she murmured. "Maybe start at a community college, apply for loans." My stomach churned. Gone? Where did it go? Why didn't you tell me? My voice rose, cracking with disbelief. They exchanged a glance, their excuses a broken record. Market volatility, bad timing, promises of solutions like scholarships or part-time jobs. I pressed for details, but they deflected, their discomfort a glaring red flag. I retreated to my room, locking the door, tears streaming as every plan, Juilliard, my career, my independence, crumbled into rubble. That night I lay awake, the violin's silent strings mocking my shattered dreams, vowing to fight back. But a seed of doubt took root. My parents seemed oddly unaffected. Robert still golfed with his buddies every Sunday, Linda still indulged in weekly manicures, and Tessa was suddenly launching a boutique clothing line with mysterious funding. A week later, the truth exploded into my consciousness. Unable to sleep, I crept downstairs for a glass of water, the house silent except for muffled voices from the study. Hidden behind the heavy velvet curtain by the sliding door, I overheard Linda's laugh, sharp and careless. "That boutique better take off, Tessa. We drained Elise's fund to get it started. She'll survive. She always lands on her feet." Robert's voice joined in, smug. "It was the only way to give you a head start, Tess. We can't ask her to understand now. Just don't blow it." I stood frozen, their words a knife twisting in my gut. They hadn't lost the money. They'd stolen it, redirecting my $80,000 college fund into Tessa's untested venture, Tessa's Threads, a flashy clothing line with no proven market. The betrayal was a physical ache, their laughter echoing as they dismissed my future like loose change. I didn't cry. I turned silently, locking my door, a fire igniting within me, a resolve to reclaim what was mine. That night, something fundamental shifted. The obedient daughter, the respectful sibling, the quiet gratitude I'd held for them withered away. I wouldn't confront them with tears or shouts. I had a better plan. one that would unravel their complacency. What they didn't know was that my grandfather, a man who'd seen my father's financial recklessness firsthand, had set up a separate trust fund for me. During our weekend chess games, he'd slip me the details, $200,000, transferred to my control at 18, with a stern warning, "Keep it secret, Elise. Your father can't be trusted with money." I'd left it untouched, trusting my college fund, but now it was my lifeline. I logged into the account that night, transferring the full amount to a high-yield savings account at a new bank, setting up alerts and a verbal passcode for security. The next morning, I visited the bank, finalizing the protection with a steely determination. For the next few weeks, I played the part, applying for scholarships, working extra shifts at the music store, enduring Linda's suggestions of practical alternatives, like online courses. But beneath the surface, I strategized. Tessa's boutique was registered under her name, but the initial capital traced back to my college fund, linked to a joint account my parents managed. As an adult, I requested a full audit and account freeze. Within days, their access was severed. Robert stormed into my room that evening, papers crumpling in his fists, his face a storm of rage. "What have you done?" he bellowed. I looked it from my laptop, voice steady. "I moved my money, the trust Grandpa gave me. Touch anything else with my name, and I'll report you to the bank and grandfather." His face flushed, then drained of color. He sputtered, "You little," but I cut him off. "Try me." He left, silenced, the air thick with his defeat. But I wasn't finished. A week before my move to Juilliard, Tessa posted a lavish Instagram update. Her boutique had snagged a minor investor, flaunting champagne toasts and dreams of family legacy. Linda gushed in the comments. "So proud." I screenshotted every post, every boast about funding, and emailed them to grandfather with a brief note. "Thought you'd want to see where my college fund went." He called within hours, his voice a cold blade of fury. "They've crossed a line," he growled. "I'll handle this." I don't know the full extent of his actions, calls to lawyers, financial advisors, but the next time I saw Robert, he looked like a man facing ruin. Linda avoided me, her spa days canceled, and Tessa's posts disappeared. Move-in day arrived, and they tried to tag along. Linda appeared in heels and a designer scarf, delivering a rehearsed speech about pride. "We're so proud of your resilience," she cooed. I stopped her cold. "No, you don't get to come. You stole my future and laughed about it. You lied to me." Tessa's guilty eyes met mine, but I added, "Hope your boutique crashes, Tess. Enjoy the stolen start." I climbed into Mia's car, my best friend who'd driven 3 hours to help, and left without a backward glance. 3 months into Juilliard, I thrived. Scholarships, my trust fund, and grandfather's discreet support covered my expenses. I'd blocked my family on everything, embracing a quieter, freer life, filled with music and new friendships. But a storm brewed on the horizon. One October night, grandfather called, his tone steelier than ever. He'd met with lawyers. My parents had filed a hardship claim, alleging I'd cut them off from assets they deserved as co-guardians. He'd retaliated by freezing all shared accounts and launching a formal investigation into the fund's misuse. As co-signers, not owners, and with Tessa's direct benefit, it was classified as fraud. Investigators unearthed a trove of evidence. Emails between my parents and Tessa plotting the fund's diversion, bank statements showing the money funneled into Tessa's creds, an LLC with no clients and shaky projections. Grandfather's legal team escalated it to the state attorney's office. Tessa's boutique faltered fast. Investors pulled out amid the scandal, her business account froze, and her trendy downtown lease was terminated. She moved back home, posting vague apologies online, her legacy in tatters. A week later, Linda called, no apology in sight. "Elise, honey, we need to talk. Grandpa's overreacting. The house is at risk. Help us." I hung up. She texted, pleading about charges and family unity. I replied, "You broke it. Live with it. The silence that followed was a balm. Aaron emailed a long, rambling plea claiming ignorance, promising repayment. I forwarded it to grandfather, ensuring he saw their desperation. Weeks passed and I immersed myself at Juilliard. Master classes, a string quartet, even a short composition for a campus recital. Healing came slowly, like notes finding harmony after discord. The real peace arrived during Thanksgiving break. I visited grandfather in his cozy cabin, the air rich with cinnamon and old leather-bound books. We avoided heavy talk, but he handed me a folder, legal updates, a revised trust, and a handwritten letter. "You always had the strength, Elise. They just couldn't see it." I cried, not for the money, but for being truly seen. I learned about betrayal, boundaries, and self-worth. I stopped trying to mend a family that never valued me, stopped waiting for apologies that wouldn't come. I wasn't a victim. I was the woman who rebuilt her future. My parents faced consequences. IRS probes threatened Robert's consulting firm, Linda's social circle shrank, and Tessa's boutique was a memory. I thrived. Interning with a local orchestra, composing a symphony inspired by my journey. They stole once, but I ensured they'd never touch me again.